Entering ENC's Pod of Awesomeness.
Birdman, listen to this. Hear that? That's not me doing foul things to myself.
I was going to say, I'm a little worried about what's going on. You giving me a round of applause already?
I am not smacking the flesh dolphin. What I am doing is, because we're recording this for the first time in a long time during the sunlight hours, I'm getting the goo down my throat.
Yeah, you getting the goo? The rider texting me.
Yeah, what's he want?
He's at Lookers. That's what he's texting. He's texting me pictures like of some random guy buying lotto tickets. I'm like, cool, what's that? And
he was texting it to me too. I was like, what am I looking at, kid? So, hosers, Zach Ryder at this point is texting us some dude standing at a counter at a diner in New Jersey like we're going to care. And he wonders why he's never going to be on the show.
Yeah, because we used to eat at this diner, Skyline Diner.
Yeah, nothing finer than Skyline Diner with Scotty Steiner.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. The goo is getting down my throat. You might have to pull me back today, Birdman. You might have to pull the reins on me. Yeah.
You're ready to go, huh?
Oh, brother, just wait until like 15 minutes. This can be on. Not only is this the WrestleMania Q&A episode of the ENC Pod of Awesomeness, but I got the goo down my gullet.
You little goo fucker. Yeah,
you need some goo by the sounds of it.
I'm probably
gonna give you some goo this weekend.
I don't. You know what though? I'm standing my ground. You know, I don't.
Not gonna do it.
You know, we've given goo. You know, goo. What is it? Yerba mate. Guyaki yerba mate.
We've given them free advertising.
We've given them free advertising for well over a year.
Yeah.
You know, they at least throw us a case or something. Like, I'm not even going to try it until they throw me a free can or something, and then I can give my opinion. And
now it's everywhere. I truly see it everywhere now. I'm like, I'm going to humble brag and say that it was all us.
Yeah. Well, you rocket strapped
an entire company.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
They got heat with me. Guyaki heat.
Fair enough. Everybody's got heat with you, though. Hey, you can listen to this thing. You can subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on Android app, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, however you listen to these things. Don't forget to leave us a
5-star /review.
You can follow all our social media accounts. Twitter, it's at ENC Pod. Instagram, it's at EC Pod of Awesomeness. He's at Christian for Peeps. I'm at Edge Rated R. There you go.
Now, you're getting them all.
I am. I'm getting them all in, brother. Yeah. Somebody's got to do it. And hey, one random dude complained his 5-star Frog Splash review was that I spoke too much last week.
Do you think that was maybe me from a burner account?
Probably. Your little burner cell phone.
Yeah. I sent it from one of those track phones, and then I dumped it in a river somewhere with a black hoodie.
Broke it in half.
Drove off.
No one to catch on. Hey, Brutus the Barber Beefcake being inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, real quickly, and I want to let you speak on this because you're heavily involved in this. So I see this announcement on Instagram, right? And I'm like, Brother Brudi, man, he's getting to go in. I think it's great because I was a Beefcake fan. I remember really digging Beefcake's whole thing. I loved him in the Dream Team with Valentine. And, he was green, but you could, there's something there. And so I go on the Instagram feed and all I see is people complaining that is not you.
Oh, man.
Like 8,000 comments. I'm like,
I don't have that.
Here's what I don't
get. Just saying. I don't have that many burner track phones. So, it all
So 5,000
I would say, if give or take.
But here's what I don't get about it. I don't get the venom and the anger toward Brutus because you're not going in. That makes no sense to me. It's not a race. It's not a contest. It's just don't take away from this guy's accomplishments, whether you think he had them or not. Who cares? It's not up for you to decide, And just let him enjoy it. Why take away this enjoyment for, anybody who gets in there works hard, no matter what. Right. Everybody.
Yeah.
And it really bugs me that people always go, or China's not going to Barcelona. She's going in. Like, you all complain China's not going in. Now she's going in, but now you're going to complain that she's going in as a group. Now, part of me gets it. You care, and I appreciate that you care. But sometimes just enjoy it. You're going to go in.
Right.
As much as I'm trying to put the blocks on it, you're going to go in.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, too. No, I appreciate the... I appreciate the sentiment from people. I really do. I hear it a lot when I go out and do signings, the Comic-Con signings, all those sorts of things. Like, it's probably, at this point, the thing that I hear most. I hear it so much. It's so much that I almost don't want to go in now. but the thing is like, I'm not offended by it, and I'm not losing sleep over it, and it doesn't bother me. So I don't. It's like what you said. Just let these other superstars deserve their rightful spot, and let them enjoy it and take it for what it is. Like, this isn't the last year of the Hall of Fame. Next year won't be the last year, and the year after that won't be the last year. So there's eventually they'll run out of people. That's the way I look at
it. You'll be the last wrestler ever to go in. If you can't be first, go last. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Or if you can't
be last, go first. Or something like that. Yeah. Something like that. But, no, I mean, congrats to Brutus. We had him on the Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness, and he was a lot of fun to have. Yeah. And he was an influential superstar, with his style. I mean, and
a lot of people, I think, from this generation forget what the prior generations, brought to the table. And there was a point where, Beefcake was one of the top baby faces in the company. And, it was a time when wrestling catered towards, the younger audience. And man, if you were a kid and you saw Brutus the Barber Beefcake coming down with those hedge clippers and those color, like, it was a thing, man. And he cut people's hair after the match. It was, I mean, my prepubescent brain thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I was like, how is this guy going to make a barber gimmick cool? And he did. Like, came out with like the barber jacket with like the mesh underneath. Yeah. Still had the glove,
cut up and everything.
Yeah. The like you said, the gardening shears with the barber stripes painted on it.
Yeah. And do I think it would work now? No. But that's okay. It's just everything's changed. So anyway, happy to see he's going in. And like you said, we had him on the show. Great guy, super fun. We did an interrogation skit with him. It was very surreal. Yeah. And the Phoenix one, Betty Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wrestled her first match last night. I thought it was the first time in 7 years. I could be wrong.
Well, that's what they said on TV. So,
did they say 7? Okay.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure that's what they said. I had to feel good to go there and get one under her belt before the big show on Sunday, WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some people go, why not save it for Mania? But it's like, again, everybody's going to complain about something, right? But I think it was good from just purely a performer standpoint. Mm-hmm. I would like to have one under my belt before getting in at Mania and going, okay, do I got this? Like, how does this feel now? And
but also on the another angle to look at it is that over 7 years that she hasn't been in the ring. 7 years in the wrestling world is a long time because the wheels never stop turning. And there is a changeover in audience. So sometimes it's not a bad thing to go out there and remind the people what you do, who you are, and get that set before the bigger match. In my
opinion. And I think I think these last few weeks were a reminder and a brush up for people, and last night was important to show this new audience who might not kind of know this is what she's capable of. And that's also a huge credit to all the women that were in there too. I mean, the Iconics and Tamina, they took us off for and really, made sure that she looked like a juggernaut, So, Yeah, it would be fun. It'd be fun this weekend. It was so crazy. We talked about it last week, or I talked about it last week when we had Tony Schiavone on, and I never got nervous before matches. Just never did. Whether it's the way I'm wired, whatever, I don't know. Last night, before her match, I knew when it was going on. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Like, huge butterflies, like my sphincter was all clenching. I was like, what is happening here? Like, I never got nervous.
I feel like your sphincter was like that because you were worried that my hand was going to come out of nowhere and give that ass a slap, you know? But I also think you might have been a little nervous for Betty. And I think it's one of those performer things, right? Like when you go out there, you are in control of the situation. And I, for one, when I was in the ring, I was super control freak. Like I had to know that I could control everything at all times, and I was in there. It's just the way that I performed, it's the way that I was. And you know, when you're wanting somebody else to go out there and do something good or great or have a good showing, and you're not in control of that situation, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing to watch.
I couldn't fall asleep. Like I hit bed and I was still all amped up. And, you know, mind you, I was trying to go to bed at like 9 o'clock too. So that might have something to do with it. But I couldn't fall asleep for a couple hours. I was like, man, she kicked ass. It was great. So,
good job. All the ladies had a great showing in that match, I thought.
Yeah. And everybody played their parts, you know, and, so yeah, should be fun come Sunday.
Tommy just texted me. Tommy
who?
Dreamer.
Tommy.
So, because we're going to get him on for a Tales from the Indies. We've been trying to do it the last few weeks, and so I'd asked him earlier, but it's just not going to work out with the Q&A, and we're under time constraints today. So I'd sent him a text or I said, "Do you want to come on the pod for a Tales?" And then I also asked him, I said, "What are you doing?" And then he responded, "LOL, nothing, weirdo." Like I was just asking him just randomly what he was doing. And then I said, "Do you want to come on the pod for a Tales?" And then under that, I said, "Can you get an iPhone? I hate the green bubbles on my phone." And he said, "Okay, probably like 1:45. I'll text you." I said, "Probably like 1:45. I'll text you the call-in number." And then he says, "Okay." And then I said, "Cool." And then I said to him, "You're canceled until next week. By the way, get an iPhone." And then he said, "LOL, dick." So that's what he just texted me now.
Well, guess who just meandered her way in here straight off a flight from Raw?
Peekaboo.
What? Look at that.
Hi.
Yeah. She's coming for more plugs, some more cheap plugs. Hey, so how was last night, Betty?
It was good. I was actually coming to see if I could get rocket strapped in this WrestleMania match. Can I get a little help here?
You want rocket strapped to the tag team straps?
Please? Can I? You know? Well, just saying. Is that too much to ask?
No, I mean,
what do you think, Bert?
It's obvious that's what's going on here. You won year and a bit ago? I mean, you've just been, I feel like you've probably been strapped like no other because, I mean, your life
taken so
That's
wrong.
an interesting phrase amongst friends / spouses.
Rocket strap like no other because you just, I mean, you've got to do commentary, and now you're back in the ring, and you're coming out of retirement, and you're a super mom, and you're lifting heavier weights than Adam and I combined. There's all these things, you know?
Jay, I like to wear a lot of hats. You just never know. You never know. If something doesn't work out, I have 875 other jobs lined up.
I would like if instead of the tiara, if you wore a sombrero at WrestleMania.
Oh, that'd be the best.
If you're talking about different hats, I'm just saying. Just throwing it up there.
I will take that under consideration.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Do I need to do a dance? Or
I don't know, just like a flaming sombrero.
A flaming?
Like a phoenix flaming.
Yeah.
And then you just throw it down in the ring, and then you dance around it.
Okay. What would Natty be doing?
I'm just making this up as I go along.
What would Natty be
Natty's
doing?
jumping over it.
Her cat ears would catch fire.
That would be awful.
Now we got a Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. I don't want it. All right, we got off track. So too soon.
Too soon. We can't talk about MJ.
Yeah,
too soon.
Fair enough. So how did it feel? You got in the ring. You're trying to get some grease in the gears. You're trying to get all the rust out there. like an old transformer.
Is that how it sounded?
Yeah,
the Rice Krispies,
like Optimus Prime. If he were buried for 20 years and he comes out and he's like, I'm Optimus Prime.
I mean, I was going to ask that question too. I was going to ask that question too because I mean, I've heard. I don't know this firsthand because it never happened to me. I never. It's not like me to put myself over, but I never had ring rust. It didn't happen to me. But I was wondering,
that is true.
Did you watch last night? Obviously, she didn't either.
Well, but that is very true. I remember, Jay, what was your injury that we were out at the same time? We crossed paths in Birmingham, Alabama. Was it your pec or bicep?
Yeah, it was my pec tear. Yeah.
Pec. Okay.
Yeah,
I remember. And then I remember like you came back and your gas tank was just, you have like this unending cardio, incredible. Okay. Well, I'm allowed to call a spade a spade. Jay is got this like unlimited gas tank. I remember watching you come back and be like, dang, he's not even breathing hard. And then I came back after my ACL and I was like, oh my God, somebody help me.
And I'm weird.
So,
me and
coming
Paul
back from an injury is
our lung capacity is out of control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, Paul Smackage, though, can be underwater for 16 minutes and only come up 3 times. Is that correct?
Yeah, he can hold his breath for 16 minutes and only comes up for air 3 times.
Really?
So if you split that, divide that by 3, it's actually not 16. That got lost in translation the last time. Sir Smackage. And he also snorts Skittles.
He snorts them, like not chewed, like just whole Skittles.
Just whole Skittles, like, you know how Vince Neil snorted ants?
Yeah,
in the dirt?
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awful. Why would you do such a thing?
Because they're Motley Crue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again,
I'm learning on the ENC pod.
That's all everybody does in the ENC pod.
I'm learning.
They get strapped. They get strapped to the straps. Mm-hmm. They get strapped into new jobs. They get strapped into wearing sombreros at WrestleMania.
Yep.
They get strapped into getting their ass smacked.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that one.
He always smacks my ass. He says he wants to smack my ass. And so a lot of stuff happens on this show.
Yes.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's why I came to the show.
So back to the point. How did it feel to get back in the ring last night?
It was fun. It was really, really fun. And I was telling Natty afterward, I kind of had this surreal experience because, training as a commentator, I've been watching a lot of the current superstars wrestling, and I've done commentary on their matches. And there was a moment where I was sitting on the apron in the beginning of the match, and I'm watching Sasha and Bayley tagging in and out. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. And I kind of got lost in the action, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, I kind of like looked down. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm wearing tights. Oh, I'm in this match.
I gotta get back in there.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that, dream that every wrestler's had that your music's playing and your boots aren't tied. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not just watching this. I'm here. I'm like standing on the apron. It was like this bizarre out of body experience. It was really funny until I almost missed the tag because I'm like, oh yeah, get in there. But it was fun. It was definitely, like you described it well, the Optimus Prime having been rusted for hundreds of years, decades, thousands of years.
No idea where that came from.
And but yeah, it's Natty and I have been working. Adam came with us to Dr. Tom's school, JPWA, which was awesome. They welcomed us, and Revival came too. Would have loved to have Christian there, but he turned me down, even though I begged. He's like, no.
Big league.
Sorry, can't be there. Yeah, he was like, what are you going to pay me? Well, I'm like...
You want to know what happened? He was waiting for the last Hall of Fame announcement, hoping it was going to be him. But it was Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
He just told... I like you said...
We just had a conversation about it. But, yeah.
But either way, so we had some great minds there. And yeah, and so Natty and I have been getting in the ring and training and working together as a team. But luckily, this is a bad analogy, but, you said it. It's almost like riding a bike. Like that muscle memory is still there and the wheel's still round.
It's not a stone wheel with all kinds of chips out of it.
My wheel's a stone wheel. But yeah, it was really fun to get in there with the new talent, and I've never, been in there with the Iconics, and so that was really fun, and get to do some like more aggressive stuff because, the competition keeps getting more and more intense amongst the women, and it was just fun to be able to push the limits a little bit and do some cool things. So it was awesome.
It was, and Peyton Royce taking one hell of a glam slam.
Yes. I mean, I I have been disappointed to not see more of the Iconics on SmackDown because they're really, really talented. They're
funny
personalities. Yeah. I mean, they came on the kickoff show the other day and they just kind of like riffed. And you've said this, and you've said that they're a little bit like the female Edge and Christian, and I totally get that vibe from them. They're just they're fun and funny. They're those kind of heels that you really enjoy watching, and could easily turn babyface because they're just so entertaining. But they're also like, they know their characters in the ring, which I think I really appreciate, because there's nothing that disconnects me more from a talent when they've got this great character and then they get in the ring and the character turns off, and like they don't integrate it into this complete package, and they are their characters in the ring, and they were just so much fun, and gosh, like they did so much for me. I appreciate them and their talent, and I see big things for them in the future. Me and Tamina, we've been just beating the crud out of each other every week.
She got a long history too.
I
crud.
did.
She said crud.
Can I say crud? Is this a PG podcast?
I mean, you could have said you can say whatever shit of each other.
I know, but I feel weird in my home where there's a child on the other side of that door, perhaps with a glass up to it, listening.
Very true.
Swear words.
How'd your body feel after? Did you feel any pain?
Yeah,
Stiffness?
like I was telling you.
Soreness?
Yeah.
Oh, it still hurts.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I mean, what I told Adam, like, weird things hurt because I don't have that like nice wrestler callus that you get when you work work all year round. And something weird that I've never experienced before in my life is like shin splints. I'm like, is that even a thing that you get shin splints in wrestling from? And I think it's just from wearing like the boots and stomping and running more than I do in my normal life. Although I try to stomp around a little bit in my daily life just to intimidate the kids. She's coming. We better behave. But yeah, I like just weird kind of pain in the front of my leg that I'm like, that's just like an old lady pain. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
But so explain a little bit how this all comes about. Like, I know this wasn't a plan for you, and it's all just kind of fallen into place, and here you are, and
yeah, I mean, it has just kind of, I had, after Hall of Fame, Michael Cole invited me to start training for commentary, and I love that role. I love, being able to speak on talent and talk about wrestling and, just interact with other people that I really enjoy being with. And it kind of kept me alive in the business that I missed and loved. But, an opportunity to wrestle, I don't know. I didn't feel like that was in the cards for me anymore. And then when they did the Evolution pay-per-view last year, Natty and I, there were so many ideas flying around about things that the women could do. And Natty and I were like, after Jim had passed away, we're like, wouldn't it be amazing if we did like a match kind of like paying tribute to Jim and Brett, and we kind of like were this female heart foundation. Like, wouldn't that be cool for Evolution? And we kind of threw the idea out there, and it wasn't the right time, and it wasn't the right place. And then we talked about this, like my dad passed away right after Jim. And I think it was only like 4 weeks that Evolution was after John passed. Yeah. And so basically I would not have been emotionally ready, I don't think, to have a match for the first time in 6 years. So long story short, WrestleMania comes along, and they have these women's tag team championships, and Natty and I still kind of had that idea in our hearts, and we'd, been, kind of getting used to our new normal with our dads being gone and just everything. We had this feeling of incompletion with our careers in the past, and our tag team together and our friendship. Like, we had this, like you and Jay, you guys have been friends.
I can't stand them. Really.
You guys have been friends since you were a little kid, so that's a little different.
35 years now.
I know.
35
that's
years.
Amazing.
No, it's not.
Jay is silent. He's so quiet.
He's always quiet.
Yeah.
But anyways, long story short, so we have a real friendship that's lasted beyond wrestling. When you leave the company, and like I did for many years to have the kids, the phone stops ringing. It slowly stops ringing, and the texts become fewer and fewer. And that's just life. It's the fast moving pace of WWE. But Natty and I text just as much and call just as much, and we always stayed so close. So this is like really special on a million levels.
But also, too, Sasha and Bailey were pretty into this.
Sasha and Bailey were interested. I'm not going to lie.
We had Sasha on the pod.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's where it first got thrown out there. That
yes.
She wanted to try and pull you out of retirement.
Yeah, and
to do exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and there was, always the odd little comments here and there from folks at WWE. Oh, you got to get back in there one more time. And, I just, like I said, I was very, very, very happy doing commentary. I really enjoy that job. But yeah, that it just kind of like all the stars aligned, and Natty felt really passionately about, doing this together and having this opportunity. And so she went to bat for us, and, here we are.
Well, it's got to be nice, too, because I know your last match was in Charlotte, and it was just kind of another week of Raw. You knew it was going to be your last match, but nobody else really did.
Yeah.
And then we just drove home, and I got neck surgery.
Yeah, like literally 7 days later. It was crazy.
So does this feel like a culmination for you?
It does. It feels just so special. And like I said, Natty kind of stuck her neck out there, and she's like, I really like Beth to be my partner. And, on my side, I don't want to let her down. I don't want to let anyone down. And so I thought to myself, well, whether or not, whatever happens, I better be prepared, and I want to be my best. And so, like I said, right away, I'm like, I got to go to the PC, and I got to start working and just see if I can even do this. It's been a while. I've had 2 babies. Things change,
Well, and also as much as, sure, Sasha and Bailey want to work you and everything, but if you go in there and you're like,
oh yeah, and I'm rolling around.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this is what we wanted.
Yeah. It definitely, I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And, sometimes, as we all know, our fans, and even, like I said, us in the back, we want everyone to be immortal and to not age and to not have injuries. And we don't want to think about those things. We just want to keep all of these beautiful characters frozen in time. And, as much as we want to freeze in time, we do change. So I wanted to get myself in as good of a situation and physical health as possible to be able to deliver what people expected of me and wanted from me. And I hope I can, meet everyone's expectations, but mostly it's like I said, it's really, I want to honor Jim and Brett and tag with my best friend and win the tag team championships. It'll be amazing.
Did it feel good to get one under your belt?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. As we all know, WWE, it's an organic system where we're constantly ripping up scripts and changing things on the fly. But yeah, it was really a surprise. I think I found out like 2 days before maybe that we were going to do this match. And I at first was a little apprehensive. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't even have new tights made. I just have what I had from before. So I had to put on the tights that I wore before I had 2 babies. So there's a lot of like considerations, and it took a little courage on my part to like be like, all right, it is what it is. We're going to just go for this. And but I was, like I said, I was so proud and happy of everybody, and it's just such a team effort now, and I love the environment. Especially in the women's locker room, it's like this nice momentum. Everybody's, really working together, coming together, and I just love seeing that main event come to fruition, and then our tag team match come to fruition. And, even the women's battle royal, the women are attacking that. They're coming at that with a great attitude that, you know what? It's not just a battle royal. It's an opportunity to be showcased at WrestleMania. And I think I like that I'm seeing some girls step up and take that shine and not overlook it as like, oh, it's just a battle royal. You know what I mean? Like Dana Brooke, I love that she has been, used her featured moment with Ronda Rousey to kind of like parlay into this battle royal and go in it as an underdog. So I think there's going to be some girls to watch, and don't count that battle royal out as a show stealer in itself.
Well, yeah, and also understand that, 5 years ago, there wasn't going to be that battle royal.
No, I was in a WrestleMania battle royal at 25,
different.
and it was 4 minutes long with 25 girls.
Exactly.
And, I mean, the quality of the matches are going to be far different, and it's just very competitive now. And that, you guys know from being in the men's division, competition breeds excellence. That's what I think. And we were just talking about it's the anniversary of the ladder match, the original...
The triple ladder
match, which you guys, it was, yeah, right. Is it today?
Today. This being Tuesday when we're recording this. Today it was 19 years ago, I think someone said.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what it said.
We're old.
Well, but I was telling Adam J that, it's not often said that like that match that you guys put together, like think about this, that match then begat, is that the correct term? Begat an entire pay-per-view that we still celebrate every year. And like I don't know how to put this, but a gimmick match, that's for lack of a better term, like a gimmick match that became an institution in a pay-per-view. And we celebrate that particular match, every time we have a TLC pay-per-view. So rad, dudes.
Wow. Well, on that note, we should probably get to our Q&A, huh?
Yeah, we probably should.
Are you kicking me off?
Well,
Is that what's happening?
you just put us over.
Yeah.
I rocket strap you guys.
Reverse strapping.
No,
Ew.
but I will say, it is like Adam had said, before with your retirement match before, now they have some closure on it as far as, like you said, kind of celebrating the Hart Foundation and getting to do it with your best friend. There's no better, kind of, waving goodbye. There's no better way to do it than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, until I win the tag team championships, and then it's Daddy's got to be home.
You
with
can retire
the
as a champion.
Mama.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And you never have to lose them. So,
I did that. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, that's kind of messed
I was
up.
like, oh, my stupid neck is sore. I can't go on a good job. Oh. Yeah.
Weird. Let me just win this match first and just keep the title and then retire.
Yeah. So
well, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on, Betty.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lyric's probably looking for one of us, so
I should probably go attend to her. Chillins.
Well, we got kids.
We're so not cool.
Wait,
How does this even happen?
Well,
have fun at WrestleMania.
Not that you need it, but good luck. And we'll see you. We'll see you up there, brother.
Thanks, brother. I can't wait to see you. We'll have to take a million selfies because Natty will be with us, so it's inevitable.
That's
with Boomerang. Yeah.
I don't even know what's a boomerang?
Yeah, that's where it does the back and forth thing.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay.
See ya.
She just got up off the floor. Yeah, she looks like she worked a match last night. She's just limping out of here. She had the Shawn Michaels stiff back walk there, too. That was awesome. Where the elbows are kind of back and the butt's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chest is out.
Yeah.
That one.
Well, ready for this? We should probably get to this Q&A because the hosers are waiting. These marks want to hear these fucking questions, these answers. Before we get to that, we should probably tell you about this.
There are 3 things every homeowner wants their home to be, right? Smarter, safer, and more fun. So what if I told you One Link by First Alert has you covered? First, meet your family's new best friend, the One Link Safe and Sound. A hardwired smart smoke and carbon monoxide alarm with a premium home speaker and Alex enabled. All in one sleek device. Built with First Alert safety technology and providing an immersive, great sound experience, the Safe and Sound elevates any home. But it gets better. One Link by First Alert also offers the One Link smart smoke and carbon monoxide alarm that work with the One Link Safe and Sound. The device is easy to install and protects against both smoke and carbon monoxide. If smoke or carbon monoxide is detected in the home, the smart alarm will notify you via exclusive voice and location technology and send a notification to your smartphone whether home or away. A smart home should start with smart protection, and One Link by First Alert welcomes you to a smarter, safer home. Visit onelink.firstalert.com for more information.
All right, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go with this Q&A, and I'm gonna set this one up to the old Salacious John there. We haven't heard from him all day.
We haven't.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
Are you there?
Oh, I'm here. I just couldn't interrupt while the Phoenix one was putting you both over right over there.
I like you, Salacious. I like you.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
All right.
What's the question, brother?
Quick one for Adam. This is from Composition 4 on Twitter.
Okay.
If a train leaves Houston at 3:30 p.m. going 95 miles per hour and another one leaves Chicago at 3:45 p.m. going 85 miles per hour, how long would it take until Jay smacks your ass?
Jesus. He would try to smack my ass within the first 2 minutes of both trains leaving.
It depends on if Booker T was on one and the Road Warriors were on the other.
Why?
Well, because Booker's from Houston and the Road Warriors from Chicago.
Oh, that's with that. Whoa. Okay.
Weight and balances.
So like when they have Tommy on a flight and they move him to the back of the plane kind of thing.
Yeah, and give him the seatbelt extender.
Poor Tommy. we kiboshed him on the show, and now we just eviscerate him. I'm saying he's trying to smack my ass immediately.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, I got a cute little tuchus, so I don't blame him for his hand and his brain not being able to stop himself from wanting to smack my beautiful glutes.
Listen, you can't stop the ass slap express. It's happening.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do we got? What do you got there, Bird? We got loads of questions here. People always say that we don't go long enough.
This is for Garrett Gidello. Hope I didn't butcher your last name too bad. Hey yo, it's G-Man. At Hey yo, it's G-Man. Question for Edge Rated R. How come Christian is always the one who grabbed the titles in your ladder matches? Because he's clearly better, or such an egomaniac? Well, I mean, I think it's a little of both.
Well, was the question for me?
Yeah, but I wanted to ask it because I saw my name in it.
Yeah, but you started answering it.
Well, answer the question then.
Well, I would
cut me off like you usually do, ass face.
Started to. It's because he's an egomaniac, and you obviously weren't using your stupid little eyes well enough, because if you watch the triple ladder match that happened 19 years ago today, you will see that Christian, the Birdman, a.k.a. Jay, didn't have enough core strength to be able to stand on that table ladder concoction, and it was me and my stellar surfing ability that was able to stand on said table and grab the belts and hand him one like a little baby, like I was handing him pablum with a spoon. Here you go. Here's your belt, little boy.
Actually, I'll answer that in all honesty. It was probably after that match, because everyone felt sorry for me going back over the matches. I realized I was just taking bumps. And had zero offense. So they're like, well, he's not getting anything in here. Let's just let him grab the titles.
Yeah, okay. You bump a lot. You can grab the belts. And we'll have Rhino pick you up and carry you up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True heel, brother. To the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's a good one. This is for both of us, from Gavlar at Gav Richardson. You are starting your own promotion. Which 5 top singles, men, women, and tag teams do you sign first and build the company around?
Wow.
I know. It's a great question. It could take a while, but it's a great question.
I know. So we have to pick 5 of each, or just 5 total?
I mean, I guess
we have
5
time
each.
for 5 each.
Okay, so let's just do 5.
Right. So we need what?
Right.
Tag team?
Tag team, women's and men's.
All right.
For the women, off the top of my head, you got to go Becky, just because of how popular and kind of how everything's worked out, the groundswell and everything. I think you got to go with her.
Right.
Tag teams, man. If I'm taking 2, I'm taking Usos and Revival. And gosh, also in terms of God, man. It's tough not to say Ronda or Charlotte too, and then so I'm picking more than 5. So and then I think in terms of I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I don't know,
it's
man.
Tough.
Yeah, I would think if I'm going tag teams, I think I'm going the Bar and Usos.
Yeah.
Man, I still think the Bludgeon Brothers had a lot more to give. They who else? I would agree with your assessment on Becky, but you couldn't go wrong with Charlotte or Ronda either for obvious reasons. I think singles, I'm taking someone like Seth or AJ or a Kenny Omega. Top of my head, that. And
I think you need a great heel as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So you just said all baby faces, so I'm taking some like Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I'll pick a heel then. Give me Drew McIntyre.
Well, no, I'm saying you need a face and a heel.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So I'd say Drew.
I'm saying give me Drew. I mean, he can go in the ring. He looks the part. He cuts great promos. He's super intense. He's a believable. He's mountain to overcome for a babyface fighting from underneath. For my money at this point in time, give me Drew.
All right. There you go.
All right, I got one for you guys.
There it is.
This is from Meekin83. What is the weirdest storylines or angle that you guys have been presented but never happened?
I've talked about mine before. Was when there was for a short period of time something thrown out where I was going to imitate The Rock and be called the Lock, because every time I went in the ring, I was a lock to win, and you know, I would mimic The Rock and act like The Rock and try to be The Rock, but I was called the Lock. And I think that was floated out for probably till it got to Vincent, and he was like, "What? Oh my god!"
Until it got to Dwayne.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, the strangest one that I was involved in might have happened. I mean, I had a match for shampoo. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty strange. That's pretty. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Booker and I wrestled over a Japanese shampoo endorsement. That happened.
Who won?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I don't even know why I questioned that. Shame on me.
Yeah. Booker didn't have the really long dreads at that point. Otherwise, it might have been up in the air. But that one, hometown, I tried an edgeroonie, and here's a funny little ditty about that. I tried the spinneroonie and actually got matte burn on my face.
Oh my god!
Because it's hard. And I'm pretty Caucasian, so yeah, I got matte burn all under my one eye from trying to spin basically on my eye hole. So there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
What you got, Birdman?
If Edge and Christian, this is from C. Talbetto at C. Talbetto. If Edge and Christian ever got into a shoot fight, this guy knows his stuff, man. Shoot fight. How badly would Tommy Dreamer lay out both of you after he does a run-in? Well, first of all, we'd see him coming a mile away. He's not the most nimble man in the world.
Be very slow.
So, and then we'd probably both turn. We'd lull him into a false sense of security, let him think that he was getting one over on us, and we'd probably turn him, pound the shit out of him.
Yeah, we'd just pull his T-shirt over his head and start filling him.
Yeah. Giving him the goods.
Just hockey fight. That was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's what would happen there. What do you got?
Well, Jay, you don't read, so this one might not be as much for you, but Anthony Rome at Third Shift something. It's a long name. Edge, you've talked about reading a lot on the podcast. If your favorite character from fictional literature were to become a wrestler, what would be their finisher? Please ask Beth too. Always my favorite. Essentially, you're not asked because you don't read.
There's a problem.
Favorite fictional character? See, that's the tough part for me. Like right now, I'm reading the Jack Reacher books, and it's a pretty badass character. But I picture his finishing move would be he'd just kind of like rip somebody's throat out. I think.
Yeah.
And stomp on it or elbow drop it.
You.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Maybe rip the throat out and then elbow drop it. Maybe a Macho Man elbow drop off the top rope onto the exposed, torn out throat. There.
I would rip your throat out and I'd back to the corner and do a Bam Bam Bigelow out of the corner headbutt on it.
Out of the corner. So off the top rope.
Yeah.
But see, here's what would happen, Jay. Here's what would happen. See, you would be doing all of that. I would move. I would then step on the back of your head. Now, this is me doing this to you. I would step on the back of your head, grab your gangly little legs, then pull it up. So you're basically just like an antenna or like a tuning fork in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your legs are kind of like the prongs. And then I would just wail away on your dangly nutsack.
That seems a little bit, I want to say obsessive, but also, a little bit over the top. I don't think you need to do that much.
I think I threw you off there.
You did a little bit because I had a different train of thought, and I don't know why I thought this because we were talking about the head shrinkers the other week. And
hey, we were talking about the Samoan SWAT team.
We talked about both.
I know, but
remember when they used to do the double headbutts out of the corner?
Yes,
and then we did that when we were a team. Remember, as a little homage.
Yes, we did. Anyway. We did because I used to love it when they did that.
Yeah. Anyway, just made me think of that.
Okay, this one you could actually answer. It'll probably be a lame answer, but we'll still ask you. Night Pickles 88. Wow, I don't want to know what that means. If you could get into a time machine, what concert would you go see?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, the Partridge Family?
Jesus.
What? What did I say?
Really? The Partridge
You
Family?
would too. He would.
No, I wouldn't. I would probably. It's a tough one.
Well,
I'd
I got
go to
three
a concert
answers.
like when arena rock was at its height in like the 70s. I mean, I know I was born in
78.
but
Yeah.
Like go to an America concert or something. Just live in
America. Wow.
I'm really into
Did
America
not
right now.
see that one coming.
I like America. I have a lot of it.
I love me
download
some
a lot of their
America.
music. Yeah.
America's one of the first bands that my mom turned me on to. We listened to a lot. Yeah.
Well, when my daughter was when I was putting her to bed at night, when I would try to soothe her, I danced with her in my arms in her room, and I would sing with me. So that's another reason. So,
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a surprisingly good answer. I would see. This is tough because I would like to see Beatlemania Beatles, but you wouldn't be able to hear anything. I think just for the sheer pandemonium of it, to witness that, I think as a fly on the wall. But in terms of how much fun it would be, I don't know, because you couldn't hear jack shit. Neither could they, which is why they stopped touring. I gotta go like, man, Kiss Destroyer or Love Gun or Rock and Roll Over Tour, because that was when they were in their full like 1978, 76, 77, 78, like, man. Or Queen, that same era, kind of Night at the Opera era. Man, I just, those are ones that I wish I was older than, 5 to have been able to go to.
No.
Yep.
Good answer also.
All right, I got one from at Sophia's Hardy. If you two were in the purge, how would you survive? And what would you do to survive?
Ooh.
I don't even know what the purge is, so that would just be me.
So he wouldn't survive. I would just stay up here on my mountain. I got a generator. And anyone who made it up the driveway, I'd probably just take an axe to.
Yeah, I would just keep these fucking wings a flapping, and I'd be, high above the earth.
Up in the air.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stay up
Cool.
there.
Yep.
Daniel O'Halloran at Raised Dinson 666 is asking, Christian, what was your favorite entrance music throughout your career? Loving the podcast, binging on it like a motherfucker. It says MF. I added the motherfucker just to spice it up a bit. You're welcome, Daniel. My favorite music was probably the just because it's so memorable and it was so annoying, was the Christian, at last you're on your own. I hated it. It made my skin crawl, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the worst music I've ever heard in my life. What just happened?" And then I realized, hey, I'm a heel. This actually makes it better for me, and so I embraced it. And it's one of those ones where, like, sometimes I'll randomly be in a mall and I'll hear somebody sing it to me randomly from far away. I won't turn around and put it over, but I hear it.
Big league.
But people sing it to me all the time, so it's memorable. And yeah, I think for those reasons, that would be the one.
I think that was a precursor to like Glorious and songs like that. It was, and it was very, going back to Queen, it was very Queen-esque. You could tell they just went, right, okay, how would Queen do a wrestling song for this character? And that's what came out.
Right.
And you had a golden shower, so
I did.
I mean,
Love me a golden
that.
shower.
If you two were to come out of retirement for one more match, who would your opponent be that is currently on the active roster?
I think we've talked about this before. I've wrestled AJ before in TNA, and but not since he's kind of stepped up to the level that he's at now. We always had good chemistry and good matches. I'd like to maybe revisit that if that was ever an opportunity, which there won't be, but that would be one off the top of my head that I would love to do.
All right, here let's fantasy book this. Do 4 matches 1 year. Do them in the tentpole pay-per-views. AJ, Aleister Black, Rollins, Reigns.
There you go.
Boom.
Boom, boom, shake the mofo room.
All right. CJ Palmisano, out of everyone on the NXT roster, who do you see having the best success on the main roster? I personally
I'm not even
think
kidding. Finish the question. It just blew my mind.
Okay. I personally think will be Adam Cole.
Let me tell you why it just blew my mind. Because I was reading the exact same tweet the same time you were.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's why we were a tag team once upon a time.
Craziness. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think that the thing to me, I mean, Adam Cole is excellent in the ring. Very good. I think the thing that would help him on the main roster is he's so comfortable speaking. So it really, and that's a real key to being able to get yourself over as a character, is being able to express yourself. And he can do that, and he has a comfort level with it and a confidence with it. And when you have that, it can only help you. And I think that for those reasons, I don't see that you're wrong. And off the top of my head, he definitely would be one that I would see that could make that transition seamlessly, in my opinion.
There's so many intangibles, and it's so tough. So many things that can happen. You know, you could say Ciampa, and right now he's out, recovering from neck surgery. There's just so many things that go into it. Yeah, Adam Cole, obviously comfortable on the mic, and you can just feel that coming off of him every time he speaks. And then Gargano cut an amazing promo with him to set up their 2 out of 3 falls match at TakeOver this weekend. That was just full of fire and just pure baby-facedom. I think if any of the current crop are given a fair shot, I think all of them can be as successful as the other. You know what I mean? Because they're all so completely different. I think the upside to Velveteen Dream is ridiculous. Talk about a character and a guy who really seems to have honed in on what it is. I think if Black's character is allowed to simmer and be what it is instead of trying to force something else out of it, I think he's going to be gold. And Ricochet, as long as that dude's body holds up, my God, he just does stuff, man. And I know I've talked about it before, but I was watching the match with the Revival, and when he just parkoured over the corner and just makes it look easy, and I'm sure it's not easy, or maybe to him it is, which pisses me off. I mean, they're all. It's tough to really just narrow down one, because then you're talking injuries, you're talking all of these things that you can't guess. So all of them, yes, would be the answer. And who else I think is to do amazing is the War Raiders. I really, man, I dig those guys. Super athletic, super strong. This generation's version of that big, hard-hitting tag team that really hasn't been around for a while. You think back to the Legion of Road Warriors and even the Powers of Pain and Demolition and, just those big, bruising tag teams. But these guys bring so much more athleticism to the table. They got a bright future ahead of them, too.
Yeah.
From Corey Ellis. Was there a reason why you guys were always mismatched in ring gear colors? I always found it interesting that you never came out matching. Was it just a random thing or plan?
No, I think that we always kind of wanted to keep our own identities as well. I think that at a time where like most tag teams were wearing, and don't get us wrong, like we when we were kids, we grew up, and Adam drew like a lot. Like he was a good artist, so he would sit down and we would talk about tag teams. We would draw up all matching stuff or very similar stuff or whatever. But when we got there, because we weren't originally, like we were in the group The Brood, but we weren't originally a team. So we kind of had our own thing going on, and I think it just kind of became what it was, and almost a way of keeping our own identity as well.
Yeah, I think we always had the vision of going off and doing our own thing. And but at the same time, it's not like we were looking past the team. We were fully committed to the team aspect. We knew, especially in the landscape at that point, that being a team was our way to show what we could do and eventually split off and do our own thing. And I think that was an unconscious or way of making sure that stayed alive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I have two here. One is just
All right.
kind of ridiculous, so I want to ask it, and then I'm asking another one after. John Shermer at JD Sherm 45.
Shermer.
Where do you squeeze your toothpaste from? The middle or the bottom of the tube?
I saw that.
It's a good question.
It is.
I'm a middle squeezer.
Are you?
I'm a middle squeezer. Yeah, I
Really?
squeeze it from the middle, and then I do I squeeze the rest up from the bottom.
Who are
After.
you?
That's how I've always done it, man.
Man, how do you not go from the bottom?
I'm a middle squeezer. I grab the tube and squeeze. That's how I do it. And
But
when
then you
they're-
got a big dent in the middle,
Listen.
and then you got these big bulbous things on either end. You take it from the bottom,
Yep.
and you just slowly work it up, and just work it up the
I
shaft.
just said
and
after I
it
squeeze from the
comes
middle,
out.
I push from the bottom and fill it back up. It's a system. It works. So your bottom
Your
squeeze
system's flawed, but
It's not.
this is almost as intense as the debate over the Maple Leafs goaltending. But I digress. Hey, second part of your question.
Okay, well, this is just a different question, but I just wanted to ask that one because it's going to be quick. Che the Bearded. What's the protocol for a dangerous spot like edge spring Jeff Hardy off the ladder? Does it need to be approved first? I assume you can't really practice something like that. Just depends on what it is. Usually when it's it obviously safety is of the highest priority when you're doing things like that, and a lot of times if it's something big, you don't really want to take that bump before the show. So maybe you'll try to walk through it, or try to go through the whole motion without actually doing the bump. But yeah, usually if it's something that's intricate or big or whatever, it is something that needs to be run through or approved. But if it's something you feel strongly about, then you can present it in a way, and if it makes sense if it's doing it just for the sake of doing it, then it's probably better to not do it. But if it makes sense within the context of the story of the match, then it's a risk that sometimes goes into matches like that.
Although I remember, and it's a different era also, keep in mind, but
Yeah.
I don't remember ever clearing anything for those TLC matches. I remember just being left to our own devices, and the only
maybe so at that
message
point,
sent
maybe.
was safe, spectacular but safe, I think was the only thing I ever heard, and that was it. And then probably that wasn't enough to tell us. We probably needed to be told a little more than
Probably
that to stop
from
us
those
from
are
doing.
probably why more things needed to be cleared. That's probably what happened.
It's probably our fault.
Right.
I do remember also by that time it had changed a little bit, but with Mick, I remember there was a lot of trepidation with the flaming table spot, and because that had never been done in WWE ring, and so there was a few hoops on that one. I think with me having to sign a waiver, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember this correctly, and Tommy would probably remember better than me, but I remember signing it, and I was sitting there with Billy Corgan and him going, what am I signing here? So yeah, there you go. Cody at CDOS91, who has the best frog splash? I got to go RVD.
Yeah.
Just because the sheer height of that thing, man. And he could somehow shift his body. And we had him on a few weeks ago, and I talked about it, but he'd fly in out of nowhere and somehow shift his body accordingly to be able to hit it. Like, I don't know, he'd jump up and yet spin
Turn,
in the air. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty ridiculous.
I think for the sheer height, and that's impressive, would have to be Rob. But for me, the best ever is Art Barr.
Ooh, good call.
Just the way that if you've never seen Art Barr's frog splash, YouTube it or something, but the torque that he would get in his body when he would do the frogging motion, if you call it that, I don't even know what you call it. But to me, for me, it's Art Barr. And if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor, go on YouTube, pull up some Art Barr footage of him doing a frog splash. Insane.
Which was, Eddie did that as a tribute to Art.
Right.
So
Yep.
from their
they were team.
days as Los Gringos Locos.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think Art Barr was the first guy to do it, right? And for it to be
Maybe
a
so,
frog
yeah.
splash the way he did it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is from Rico Pimentel at Rico Mon. First, I totally botched that, by the way. First thing, what is the first thing you guys bought with your WWE paycheck? With your first WWE paycheck?
Ooh. I put it in the bank.
So I had a student loan, and I had a collection. I've told the story before, but I had a collection agency after me for a loan that I had outstanding, that I had every intention of paying back. But there was this loans officer named Snooks, and he used to call me weekly and harass me, and we used to get in an argument up on me, and I'd hang up on him, and somehow he found out I was a wrestler, and he called me up and he said, "So you're a wrestler, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, how'd you find out?" And he's like, "Well, I have my sources." Like he's like a real detective. I'm like, "Dude, you're a loans officer here. Like you're a collection agency guy." So he's like, "Well, obviously you're not very good, or else you'd be able to pay back your student loan. So why don't you man up, go find a real job, get with the real world, and pay back the money you owe." And I said, "I'm going to pay back the money I owe, but I'm not going to be a miserable prick like you that hates my job. And the little satisfaction I get out of it is by calling and harassing people." Anyway, not long after that, a few months after, I started with WWE, and for my first paycheck, I called him up, and I'd never called him before, so I threw him off. He didn't know what to do. He was like, "Oh, what are you calling me for?" And I was like, he said, "Did you get a job?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he said, "Well, if you don't mind me asking, what is it?" I said, "Well, I got a job with World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE. You might have heard of it." And I just want to know how much it's going to cost me to pay this back in full, or pay back. And he's like, "Well, you're going to do installments." I said, No. I'm going to pay it back in full. I'm going to write you a full check. So he told me the number, and then I said so much, and he said that they had a rumor, they had a name for me around the office that they called me No Future Reso, and they had a picture of me up in the office. So I said to him before I hung up, I said, "Hey, so much for that no future theory, huh?" And I said, "Well, I'm traveling all over the world." I said, "You enjoy driving your Pinto and sitting in your cubicle. Have a nice life." And I hung up on him. And needless to say, I'm fucking rich. I don't know what happened to him, but.
At least you're not bitter.
Yeah. So no, when we went back to Toronto for the first time, I sent tickets to his office. I don't know if he ever went to the show or not, but I sent him tickets.
Snooks,
fuck
damn
you,
Snooks.
Yeah.
I would like to address this one because it's incredible to me that these teams aren't on WrestleMania. So who would be a great replacement to do a TLC match with the Hardys, who are both healthy? Damien X says the Usos would make a great substitute for Edge and Christian as a team who doesn't go to the air too often, but 100% isn't afraid to. As for the sub for Bully Ray and Testified Devon as the team of strength and technical prowess. I mean, the Dudleys were not. But come on, let's face it. I love them. Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, the Revival.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all those teams would be great in that environment. And we've talked about how a team like the Hardys could help a team like Revival, with all the history and, what the Hardy Boys are as this legendary team, what they could do to help elevate a younger team like the Revival and such. I think that also, you could also, like I talked about them earlier, a team like the Bar could be thrown in there and also bring that strength, a little bit more of that grittiness in as well.
You know who I think too, as much as I like them better as solo acts, imagine, the Revival to me, they're straight up tag team wrestling. Not that they'd be out of their element in a TLC match, because I know they come up with crazy, innovative, creative ideas. But imagine, a Hardy's, Usos, Ricochet, and Black. Imagine what Ricochet would do in a TLC match.
Well, I mean, all I have to do is look back at the ladder match they had TakeOver a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I guess there's just more possibilities with teams, and when it's a TLC match and you have tables in there and you have that's all.
I got one here from King Scorpio 11. When will we see the epic showdown between Flip Sunset and Paul Smackage?
I don't know. I think Paul might be en route. I think Paul might be en route to New York. I don't know if he knows if Flip's going to be there or not, but like, I think that I think he might be on. We talked about a train leaving Chicago and one leaving Houston.
Yeah.
I think he's on. I think he jumped on one of those freight trains, and he's stowing away on his way to New York to help.
Okay, so he's like Jack Kerouac. He's riding the rails.
Yeah.
That I know that first part is lost on you. Don't worry, it makes sense. So he's riding the rails. He hops on in Grapevine, catches the connection in Houston, and now he's on his way to New York, is what you're saying.
Right.
Well, I have it on good authority that Flip said that Mania is not big enough. It's not a big enough house.
Well, he's holding out.
He said he needs it to. Well, he said he might show up at Woodstock.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So well, maybe old Paul's going to have to switch trains.
He might have to. However, the caveat to that is that he's only going to show up if Enough's Enough is playing Woodstock.
Yeah. That's strong. So Pro Wrestling Tavern at PW Tavern sounds legit. Why does it feel like the NWA/TNA title run didn't mean much to Christian? Love the show. Still catching up on all the episodes. I don't think I ever said that it didn't or made it feel like it didn't. When I went there,
I guess you did.
I've never said a bad word about my run when I was in TNA. They treated me extremely well. I had a great time when I was there, and they gave me an opportunity, even though it was on a smaller stage, to step up into a main event spot and to prove to myself that I could help carry a show and I could be the guy. And for that, I'll always be thankful. And that's why those titles, they do mean a lot to me because, like I said, I felt like when I went back to WWE, I was a better performer because of what I had done previously in today. And it was cool to hold that NWA title, even though it wasn't of the same prestige that it was back in the day when Harley Race and Ric Flair and all these other guys. It was still pretty cool to have that title. And there is a picture out there somewhere of you with the NWA title and me with the WWE title, which is pretty funny.
I know. Somewhere. I don't know where it is, brother, but it's somewhere. Yeah. I think this is a good one to end off on because it pulls in the fact that this is WrestleMania week. The one with too many names. First off, I'm a huge fan of you two. You guys unknowingly, in brackets, help me a lot. Love to explain that whole story, but Twitter only allows so many characters in each tweet. Anyway, my question for the both of you is, what is your favorite WrestleMania week moment of your entire career? Because Mania has become this week-long institution. It really is. It's an experience. If you haven't been and you love this industry, you got to go check it out. And if you've been, you know what it's all about. Yeah. Now, as a performer, it's an insane week. There's barely a moment to breathe in a perfect world because you want to be on the show and you want to be busy and you want to be doing all of that media. If you want, I'll answer first. I think for me, there's two that I really, really remember. And the first one was WrestleMania 16 in Anaheim. We found out we were winning the tag team titles. We knew we were going to be in what could possibly be a pretty revolutionary match. I don't think any of us knew it would go where it went to. But I fondly remember that. All of us hanging out in Anaheim, just super young, right at the, in the beginning of our careers. And it just felt, I don't know, it felt really, really special.
We were almost like, I don't want to say ignorant, but almost immature to the fact of what we were about to do was so big, Yeah. And I agree with that. And because of also the fact that it was something that we had dreamed about doing together as kids and talked about being tag team champions, and it almost never happened. Like there was talk of them splitting us up till a couple weeks before that. And when we went out, when we did that backstage interview, that sit down interview with the Hardys and Coach, and then we did commentary, everything changed for us. And we weren't supposed to win that match. And it changed last minute because of that. And to me, that was a pretty special Mania moment, for sure.
The other one I remember was WrestleMania 24 with Taker, because
for sure.
that might have been the busiest week of my life, but it was all good busy. It was just nonstop from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed. And what was good about that is it kind of kept the pressure of the position out of my head. You know, to the point where I backed into my future brother-in-law's rental car, and drove off. Didn't even feel it because I was in my SUV. Apparently, I backed into him and drove off. I didn't even feel like bumping him. I just like kept going. And he's like, he called Eric, my brother-in-law, Eric. He's like, Edge just backed into my rental car. What should I do? And Beth was like, don't say a word. Just take it back. I have didn't feel it, nothing. Like, well, that week was just so crazy, but it was good crazy. And it was, you know, I'm going to main event with Taker. My God, that's, you know, what you want. So those, I think, were the 2 weeks. That and always defeating Shane in Mock Mania is always big. Yeah.
I think another one for me was, and this was in the ring, was when I was in the Money in the Bank match. I think it was in Phoenix. After I first came back. I believe it was Phoenix. Either Phoenix
WrestleMania 25, I think.
And when Shelton and I tipped over on the ladder, and I stopped myself with a foot on the top rope, and he kept going over, and I pushed myself up, and it looked like I was the only one there, and I was going to win this match. And I remember looking up and seeing the entire side of the stadium stand up. And I was like, holy shit, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. And just like you get like a real sense at that moment of time how special these moments are, because they aren't going to last forever. So you got to take those in when you get them. I just remember that thinking, I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was insane. So
it's WrestleMania week. Enjoy it. Yeah. So happy WrestleMania, everyone. Enjoy it. The NXT TakeOver Hall of Fame, WrestleMania itself. It's going to be a massive week, let alone Raw on Monday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. I'll see you up there, Birdman.
Yeah. If you, Mark, see us around there, come say hi. Don't be shy.
I'll be friendly. He won't, even though he just told you to say hi.
It's a bad rep. I don't know where I get it from.
All right.
Here we go.